Rise, O compatriots, Nigeria's call obey, to serve our father's land with love and strength and faith. The labor of our heroes past shall never be in vain. To serve with heart and mind, one nation bound in freedom, peace and unity.
The entertainment industry has taken major strides over the last decade. Now, do you think we have enough training to move from where we are right now?
We produced the Files experience, for example, in December. They say, arguably one of the best productions, that our country has seen.
I agree with you, but the thing is, if you have to do that for 36 states, for example, how sustainable is it?
I've always been passionate about what can we do to elevate the discussion? What can we do to make our work better, our community better? But more importantly, I feel like I owe my entire career to the creative industry. Today, most people know me as the founder and CEO of Black House Media, one of the leading public relations consultancies in this part of the world. But those who have followed my career since maybe that 98 and the early 2000s would know that I started my career doing entertainment. So deep down inside of me, I still feel a debt to the industry that gave me a voice from day one. So I'll sit in the same room with Tayada Marshall, Adome Kori, Steve Babeko, and we kept saying, how do you put together a structure that can help us unlock this potential and build the industry of our dreams? I became very restless. 2012, I remember, I was chatting with my friend Kevin Orifa, and I was saying, I want to do something that can bring everybody together every year to discuss issues, trends, and all of that. Kevin was like, go for it. And I started typing on my phone. It was a nightmare from a budget and logistics perspective, So it didn't happen in 2012. In 2013, I think it was January, I was attending an event at a hotel with my very good friend, the comedian T.A. And it was a very nice event. And I said, T.A., see what these guys have done. We can do this now. Why am I waiting for a perfect time to do Nigerian Entertainment Conference? And that was the day I decided that this was going to happen in April. And we had just 2 months to start.
We have been sleeping giants for too long. Let's wake up and lead truly by example.
The story of NECLive is one of the tenacity of purpose, because we just wanted to do something that would impact the industry, that would address some issues within the general spectrum of the entertainment ecosystem, from music to movies to comedy to acting to broadcasting. That's what we set out to do initially, and trying to get in the buy-in of everybody was a bit difficult at first, because it wasn't a show, it wasn't a performance, it was a serious talk shop. But we all kept our focus.
April 26, 2013, the first edition of Nigerian Entertainment Conference happened at the Grand Ballroom of Eco Hotel in Victoria Island, Lagos. And we had, Amaka Igwe.
Even if we don't know how to use the edit suite, we've been able to make fire come out of the mouth of people like Patrick Doyle.
So many of these people. It was an amazing opportunity to finally see us sitting down in one room. Music, media, Nollywood, government, agencies, everybody arguing and fighting and discussing and plotting and trying to find a way to make the industry work better for everybody.
If all you are doing is making your content and sitting by the phone waiting for a brand to call you to perform or to call you to give you an endorsement deal, you have totally missed it.
I mean, because it was the first one, I mean, from my perspective, we did not know what to expect, but we knew a lot of people would show up because the platform, NET and BHN, whether it was the PR company or the Reach platform NET, it had created a reputation for itself. So going into the conversation, an offline conversation, bringing a lot of people together, I think the first thing was when we announced the speakers and the panelists, people were really excited.
There were a lot of components involved in putting together the conference, which we see year in, year out, and we have all come to love, especially for our very teeming audience that keep requesting for more dynamic approach to how we produce the conference every year. It comes with working closely with a team of professionals and very dedicated hands, and more importantly, we are most grateful to all our partners who have supported NECLive from inception in 2013 and have continued to give unwavering support.
And I can assure you that it's not every movie that gets pirated. There are movies that you can actually release on certain platforms and it doesn't get pirated. So which means that we need to factor how we take advantage of all those platforms that will allow you to make revenue without having your content pirated.
The Nigerian Entertainment Conference has been of interest to me. I definitely think that this conference has impacted the industry in so many ways. First of all, it's a place where, like I said before, the stakeholders come together every year to have conversations, to talk about progress, to talk about the issues as well. So it's like a melting pot of everybody in entertainment. You find the upcoming, the already established, the retired, the middle class, everybody in the industry, journalists, guild presidents, guild members. You know, some of the most inspiring conversations I have heard and being a part of concerning the Nigerian entertainment industry have happened at the Nigerian Entertainment Conference.
You'll be surprised the kind of people that buy content. So again, it's very much about what your distribution strategy is.
I don't think there's been anything like it. Really, I don't think there's any other conference or platform that has done the work that NECLive has done. I don't think that, you know, and this is me who still think that we are probably doing 20–30% of what we should really be doing. I mean, we're still doing how many, I mean, we always had dreams of mini NECLives every quarter. We've not really been able to do that. We've had dreams of NECLive being an ongoing concern, not just a once-in-a-year thing. We've not really been able to do that. We should have, you know, a bureau that runs it on its own by now. The foundation should be kicking off really hard at this point in time and all of that. But hey, to even do this, you know, to fund it is a big challenge every year, because somehow, some way, even as we get more partners every year, there is still a lot of out-of-pocket spending that goes into putting NECLive together. It shouldn't be anywhere else in the world.
The challenge that I find is getting my content out. We don't have that middleman or the professionals to actually get it to the right platform.
NECLive is a once-in-a-year event, but it takes give or take on a particular NECLive that we are being lazy. It takes 6 months of planning. It takes 6 months of planning from venue. Where we are is the third place we are using. And for every venue we use, we take lessons away from it. We settled where we are because it gives us the opportunity to do everything we want to do. So many thousands of man-hours, and I would give it to one person in particular, Henry, quintessential Henry. Henry is always on top of the game. Once we all know our various duties to do, Henry will make sure that we keep to our timelines.
You
mentioned something, sir. You said that whether or not an artist is signed, as a collecting society, you are collecting on behalf of the artist. Why is it? I want to believe that I have made a little bit of impact in my sector of music, sir. I do want to believe that. And I know for a fact that even if my work does not get played on Monday, from Monday to Friday, it does get played on Sundays. Why is it that I have not received a check, sir?
NECLive has done a great job in bringing a whole lot of people together in a room to actually discuss in a structured way what's been going on in the industry, what needs to be going on in the industry, and how those things need to look for our industry to match up to how the rest of the world is going, right? So elsewhere, we know that there are different cultural and technological advances. There are different sort of ways of just operating. And I think it's admirable that each year there's a platform that people can come to say, okay, well, now let's sit together. Let's see what's been happening. Let's see what the improvements have been over the last year or 2 or 5. And let's see where we want to go in the future. Because it's like that thing, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail, right? So I think NEC is doing a good job in terms of bringing people together so that they can see that there needs to be a plan so that the industry can actually move forward and benefit those who are working in it. So this is not just, it's not a concert. You don't come, pay someone to play and then go and have fun, right? This is where you hear the people who are in the industry actually speak about their pain points, about the good things, about the bad things. And I don't know that there are really any other avenues for people who have no links or networks already existing to be in a space with people who are doing what they want to do in the future. And I think that's a good thing.
Nigeria has a very great future, and we all are the road and bridges to get to that future. But I notice we are so impatient. All of us will ask, which time this change will happen?
Conferences afford us the opportunity to network, to learn from one another. Whether you're a keynote speaker or a panelist, you hear other people's views, you get to answer questions, you are challenged. It makes you sit up tight. So the fact that it is a portal for exchange of knowledge, I am big on the knowledge economy and anything that empowers people. Symbiotic relationship, I learn from them, people learn from me. I hope our partnership in whatever little way with NECLive should inspire many other service providers who are capable of supporting the cause to come on board, and the burden can be lighter for everybody. So I foresee a situation where very soon NECLive will be suffused with so much sponsorship potential or offers, because people will see the reason to participate or contribute to a good thing. For as long as they need us and as long as we can afford to, we'll always answer the call.
I've been part of NECLive from the very first edition, which was in 2013. And that was quite interesting and new, quite refreshing, having an industry conference. And I very well remember the process. It was that, I think it was at a hotel, and we had this little space to set up, and I was quite worried because, you know, being used to setting up for concerts with a huge lineup. And I saw the lineup as well, and I was like, is this space going to accommodate everyone? But it was very well managed. It was very well managed, and I think it was also an opener for me to see how, you know, you can manage space and people in a short time. I decided from the beginning to be a partner on the NECLive conference is because I see the future, I see where it's going, and I see that a lot of issues that need to be addressed are actually being addressed, solutions being proffered, and it's quite interesting.
NECLive has offered industry stakeholders an opportunity to iron out issues, meaning a platform or a forum to discuss the challenges or the problems or the disagreements facing the industry. And during these discussions, a lot of things have been resolved. For example, between 2013 and I think 2014, a lot of the discussions was around royalties on your music or your content or your creative work. So I think some of those issues, to a large extent, there's been progress, although I'm sure some of those problems still exist and have not been fully resolved. In 2019, this year, NECLive 7, we also hope to do even more, especially in terms of figuring out what the future of the industry will look like.
I'm happy that we do NECLive every year. I'm grateful to all the volunteers, all the sponsors and partners who work every year. Companies like AV Edge, Equally Diverse Solutions, Hughes Valeries have been our partners from day one, who have given their time, who've given their sweat, who've given their money, to make sure that this happens every year. And I know that at the end of the day, we're closer than we were in 2013 to building the industry of our dreams.